Hello, in this video we're going to create a simple shapes inside the Photoshop, create with all the layers and necessary distribution maps, and we're going from step to step to creating our golf course. And you can notice from this render what we're going to do, it is creating shape, making sure our plant distributed in right places, also set properly elevations for the sandbags, for the area for the sand, how we can do this. For the flats, we're starting and ending green zones and some rough grass. So we can kind of going over and creating these elements and combine them together to create this weird golf island somewhere in the water, which I don't know how people even can get there. There will be their own problems, maybe parachute from helicopter, it's their own choice. But overall, we're going to do and try different type of the textures, showing you tips, how you can create a little bit more realistic. However, it's a little bit yellowish. I don't think you want play golf on this kind of all the areas, but just overall, we'll go over all the steps so we can create our golf course. Let's go ahead and start working on these videos. And just let you know, some of the part can be long, about like 30 plus minutes. And I think it's about 3 parts. So hopefully you stay here and be sure you check first part, second part, and third parts of these videos. So let's go ahead and start. First, we're going to need to create shape and material reference. And we're going to use it Photoshop to do this. You can use it other applications like a GIMP, Painter, or any other ones you prefer. But for me, I have Photoshop, so it's what I'm going to use. And we'll go to File, New, and as new size, we're going to use it 1024 by 1024. It was size and resolution of the terrain we're going to use inside the view. If you have it higher, I will recommend. Try to match your resolution in Photoshop for your map, match pixel resolution, what you're going to use the terrain inside the view. This way you will have it at the best sharpness and look more accurate. So let's go ahead and click create. And now this is our first layer. Let's leave it as a background and we'll leave it as a reference. So one we want to create is a shape of our terrain. And for this we can do a couple of ways. We can just take a paint tool and create it. So let's go ahead and select, or we also can just fill with different colors. So it just depends how you prefer to do it. But you know what, actually before we do this, let's go to take this shape and make naturally kind of heel maybe or down. And again, you can create different ways. You know what, let's go do this way. Let's go to create the reference. And instead just explain, we also draw. So I'll take a paint. It's a red, and let's say this is, they may change, but really rough. So for example, I want this shape of my golf course. So right here on the side, maybe I want to add the plants. So we're going to create green, and let's say plants will going around my area. Somewhere a little bit more, maybe plants. Like right here. Okay. We also can go ahead and set here with our green will be with the hole right there. So it's maybe kind of area. Here is maybe our starting area. Those ones I want to create a little bit flat, so it's more usual what's happened. And also those two areas, it's where we have in a golf course they're mostly using just a right there. Carpet kind of almost, I notice in many cases, so it's very short grass, depending where you're going. And we'll probably want to go and create maybe sandbag around here, sand trap somewhere on the right there. And maybe again just add a few more trees around here, so give it kind of shape so we can play. But overall, you create your shape of your golf course. Okay, maybe just add. And this is actually, it's what will be our maps. If you notice, we'll have it two areas where we need kind of make them flat. We also can change shape. For example, we can make or a heel between them if we want to make, or down, so we can change those two areas. And for the look nice, if you want to render, I will recommend don't put a heel between them, because in this case, from one area we can view second area, so it will give us nice perspective look. We also can create like a little bit sandbag, even more down. So when we decide to create your area, we can start creating these elements around us, and it will be not a big difference from what we created first. So creating overall a layout we can do by or creating generate clouds and make them flat, or we can also just create, let's just make behind under our ref, we created new layer, and let's call this maps. Okay, and what we want to do is go edit, fill, and we're going to fill this with 50% gray. The 50% gray is the reason it is in the contrast modes. It's kind of invisible in Photoshop, so we can use it with overlay to add some elements, but also in a view 0, which will be black here, 0, black, it's actually a lowest point, and white is the highest point. So by creating gray, we'll kind of say that is a middle point for us, so we can go up and down. Okay, we kind of create a general shape, well, coloring, sorry, height, general height in this, and we want to outline our shape. The outline may help us with creating with terrain what we want to do. For example, if we want to create on an island, we can just fill up with the black around, and this will be standoff on middle of water. Or we can fill up with the trees or any other ones, or you can blend together. So for our reason, you know what, let's just create a kind of looking almost like island. So I'm going to select my lasso tool, and you have it multiple ways you can do. So you can do with a lasso tool, just go around and selecting this way. You can also just go ahead, select pen tool if you import map before, and you can go with your map tool, and you can see just going around your area, selecting. Okay, let's go convert to the vector mask. There you go. So we can create this way. And a black, how say, I don't necessarily want to have it black. Okay, let's go to fill up with a black color. So I don't want a gray. So in this case, it will be look a little bit like an island. Our areas around, you notice it is will be sharp edge. So we can do this way with sharp edge. If you want to create a little bit more smooth in, then we need to add blur, and we can do this afterwards. But overall, here's our first shape. So next, let's go to create some of the plants, map location for the plants. And with the plants, we want to actually create white color. So before I do this, let's go. We have two maps. I forgot to mention this. One, it's a shape of our area, and second, it will be distribution of the materials. Plants, it is part of the material layer will be. So right here we have our shape. Let's go right now, just actually finish on the shape, and we want to be sure this area, it is high, normal height. We want a little bit make lower in this area, and then remember it is a black color. So we'll go just select new layer. Let's go call low, and we'll now take a brush tool, and you know what, we can select color. And if you notice, if we're going to like about 50% gray, right here we have it where our percentage, let's go type 50. So this will be match colors from what we have it. So if I start painting, it will be invisible. But remember, I want to make lower. So I'll make just a little bit lower. And you have a few choices you can do. We can make color, just paint directly there, or we can go all the way black and using blending mode. So it's up to you which one you prefer. With the blending mode, we'll be sure we select soft. With blending mode, we can actually later modify. So now I'll show you in a second. So right here I have a blending mode, and let's go be sure we set opacity to 10%. We want to soft going, and we can start painting. So you can see I'm just painting right here a little bit. Don't need it too much, but I want this lower area. Right here also we can, just take edges and make them smaller. Not too much, just a little bit. We have other ways we can blend as well, but I think the overall shape will work just well this way. There you go. So what I said before about blending, we can always go ahead, select to soft light, and you can see how it's changed. If we have it stronger black, and we can modify opacity, how much we want opacity on this. If you want stronger, you can always go to multiply, and you can see how much stronger it is. And also same things we can modify depending how lower or higher you want it. So let's go just for now, leave it as multiply, and I just adjust a little bit. One thing, if you're afraid your map will go out of the shape, we can hold Alt or Option key, move towards your layer, and you can see when arrow appear, you can click and clip that layer to layer below. So in this case, it's one get out from the area around our map. So let's go ahead. Next, we want actually to create positioning now. So for our maps. For this one, let's go first create our sand map. So we'll go create a new layer. I don't need its style. I just need the name. So the sand trap we'll go create. And we'll want to show it is white color. So for our distribution, it's transparency, the white and black. So black will be 100% transparent inside the view, and white for the masking will be non-transparent. So we'll go use white on this. And I want to place around this area. So let's go ahead and kind of painting, I think right around there. I'm going to set 100% opacity because I want to. And the problem is when I start painting, notice it does, because my brush is soft around, so I have it okay, but you'll notice it's go kind of a little bit out, and it's okay. So what are we going to do? Press Control Command on our map right here, and it's make a selection for us. You can see it select all the maps. So now when we select it, we can go and create mask as our sand layer is selected. And there you go. Now we're masking. We just set this inside the area at this place. So same things we want to do for our plants. I'm going to create new layer. We'll go it's plants. Okay. And the same things. I'm going to just create a bit smaller. Here's our reference if you want it. And we can just go over and start painting an area where I think plants was supposed to go. It's okay if it's go a little bit overboard. Remember, we'll go to clip this. But what we're going, it is distribution. So I'm going right here, creating maybe like this. Okay, let's uncheck. Just maybe add a little bit more plants. And if it's confusing, we can always turn it off, some of those layers. And the plants, I think this is about where I want my plants going. Maybe a little bit right here. Okay. Same things, we'll go Control or Command and left click on our map. So we'll have it outline our original shape. And click on a mask, creating mask. So now this is our plant creation. Okay, next we need to create those grass. So this is all will be grass, but remember start point and end point. So we want to do those ones. Let's uncheck, create it new, and we'll call it greens. Okay. And the greens, so again, I want to create around this area. But here's the things, greens, I noticed sometimes because it's natural grass and some place may use it carpet, green carpet or other things. So we actually want to hard ground for this. Okay. I want a sharper edge. And I'm just going, I go right there, kind of like this painting. So this will be my one green and the point. And let's go right here will be my start point. Maybe like this, just a little bit. Okay, you can do this also. Okay, let me undo those two things. If you want to feel more comfortable, you can also just create or shape by lasso tool. Okay, you can do this way. We can also just go and create more like those areas. Okay, let's go down, hold shift key. I will just create kind of like this. So we can position and fill them with white. So it's up to you. If they feel a little bit too oval, you want a little bit natural, of course we can go filter, distortion, and we can go to anything from wave, twirl. Let's go just create maybe this way. Use wavelengths. Let's go click OK. Just switch a little bit shape on them. But overall, there we have it sharper edges on too. Again, you can separate them if you need it. Okay, and the separation, we'll just select that one. Reasons why separation, so we can actually create two. You can create as many as you want it. And we can call this and green. So here so far, this is what we have. We have a distribution for our sand, plants, and two greens. So now we're going to save. As a saving, remember what I says, high and low. We need to disable all these maps. This will be our position for the map. And again, I have sharp edges. We can always just create different. And let me just show you how we can do this. We can select Control or Command, click on a map, we'll create new layer. Okay, and in the new layer, we just go ahead, Shift, and fill with 50% gray. So we fill up. Let's uncheck our selection. And all what we need to do, filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and you can see we can start blurring those edges. We don't need blur too much, but if we blur just a little bit, maybe around here, that will provide softer edge for our map. So we can do this way. And again, because below we can add more contrast, but you have multiple ways you can remove this sharp edge. So let's go ahead right now, and I'm going save. So I'm going saving this, and I would recommend save as TFF format. So let's go to File, and we'll go to Save As. Okay, and we're going to select as TFF. Be sure we don't want to save any layers on this case. Let's go call this shape. So this is first, we'll just save as a shape, and we'll just save Macintosh unless it no compression, we don't want it. So we have the perfect pixels on this. Let's turn it off. We can also just, as a result, we can save it as sharp shape, just in case if we need it. Okay, let's now disable this one, and we have it our sand. So we go to File, Save, and let's go to same TFF. You can also save as uncompressed JPEG, but I still find sometimes it does provide kind of artifacts. So I like to, or PNG will work very well as well in this case. Okay, send. Now our plans. We'll go save TFF. Plans, remove layers, save it. Okay. And we have two greens. So we can actually save them both together if we want it. Or we can save alone. You know what? For the purpose, let's go make together. So it'll be easy to load it. But if you want it, remember you can always separate them, okay? If you need to change colors or you need to do something else. So we save it. There you go. So let's go ahead and next portion, we'll just go inside the view and start applying those maps and build the greens based on that.